Akashvani presents Morning News. Good morning, I'm Anuja Kumar. The headlines. Polling begins for first phase of assembly elections in Bihar. Around 3 crore 75 lakh voters to decide fate of 1,314 candidates across 121 constituencies. Indian Navy to commission survey vessel class ship Ikshak at Kochi Naval Base today. High altitude areas of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand experience fresh snowfall. U.S. Supreme Court raises doubts over legality of President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs under an emergency authority. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets world champion Indian women's cricket team, urges them to promote Fit India. And in men's cricket, fourth T20 International between India and Australia to be played in Queensland this afternoon. And now the news in detail. The polling has begun for the first phase of assembly elections in Bihar. Voting is taking place for 121 constituencies spread over 18 districts in this phase. These districts include Patna, Vaishali, Nalanda, Bhojpur, Munger, Saran, Siwan, Begusarai, Lakhisarai, Gopalganj, Muzaffarpur, Darbhanga, Madhepura and Saharsa. Polling, which began at 7 a.m., will continue till the 6 in the evening. However, due to security reasons, voting will conclude at 5 p.m. in Simri Bakhtiarpur, Mahishi, Tarapur, Munger, Jamalpur and in 56 polling booths of the Suryagadha Assembly segment. Elaborate security arrangements have been made to ensure a free, fair and peaceful polling. A state-of-the-art command and control centre has been set up to monitor the poll process with webcasting from all 45,341 polling stations. Central Armed Police Forces, along with state police, have been deployed across all polling stations. To promote women's empowerment, 926 all-women managed booths and 107 booths managed by Divyangjan or specially abled personnel have been established. Additionally, 320 model booths have been set up with enhanced facilities for voters. A special control room has been established at the Chief Electoral Officer's office in Patna. Voters can register complaints on phone number 0612-282-4001, fax at 0612-2215611, or email at ceo_bihar@eci.gov.in and ceobihar@gmail.com. Several voter-centric initiatives, including mobile deposit facilities, will also be available during the elections. And now we go over live to our correspondent Dharmendra Kumar Rai in Mokama for the latest update on polling. Dharmendra, what latest update you have for our listeners?
Large number of voters can be witnessed in long queues, and especially in young voters and elderly voters, they are encouraged to exercise their right of voting, and especially in elderly and old-aged voters, they have reached to cast their vote early in the morning when the polling started, and elaborate security arrangements have been made on polling booths with the Central Armed Police Forces and state police forces are deployed for security arrangements. And several initiatives have been taken by Election Commission of India, like mobile depositing facility have been provided. For women, there are special places have been set up so that they can reach and cast their vote along with their kids, and other amenities like sitting arrangements, and for Divyang voters, they are allowed to cast their vote with preference in queue. There are several voting arrangements that have been made by Election Commission of India,
yes,
which has been rolled out first time.
Yes, thank you, Dharmendra, for that update. And now we have our correspondent Anupam Mishra from Tarapur constituency in Munger district. Anupam, how is the polling progressing in your constituency?
Yes, Anuja, we are at Lakhanpur Primary School polling booth of Tarapur Assembly constituency of Munger district. Since 7 in the morning, people are in long queue to cast their vote and exercise their franchise here. From BJP, Deputy Chief Minister of Bihar, Samrat Chaudhary, is contesting from here. He is facing RJD's Arun Kumar, AP's Rahul Kumar Singh, Jan Suraj Santosh Singh, JJD's Sukhdev Yadav, SUCI's Bharat Mandal and Independent. BSP candidate from Tarapur, Ashish Anand, yesterday gave his support to the BJP candidate. Anuja, a part of this constituency was affected from left-wing extremism and people were not able to exercise their voting rights for nearly 2 decades. This time, people of Bhimband area are voting after a long time. Development and employment has been key issues this time. So every political party has tried its best to woo the voters, especially youth voters and women voters. Women constitute 47% of voters of the state. Anuja.
Thank you, Anupam, for that update. And we also have our correspondent Saklain Akhtar live from Raghupur in Vaishali district. Saklain, please give us the latest update from your assembly seat.
Anuja, we are here at a polling station set up in primary school in Terasia and Raghupur Assembly constituency. Voting has already started at this center. Raghupur became one of the most high-profile seats in this phase because Mahagathbandhan's chief ministerial candidate Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is in the fray from this seat. If we talk about this polling station, voters have turned up in good numbers since morning and are standing patiently in queues and peacefully waiting for their turn. There is a visible enthusiasm among voters across all age groups, including men, women, as they exercise their franchise. If we talk about the facilities at this polling station, the Election Commission has made special arrangements for the convenience of voters, including mobile deposit facility, ramps, and wheelchairs for the Divyangjan and senior citizen voters. If we talk about the security part, elaborate security arrangements have been put in place to ensure free and fair polling. Along with the state police, Central Armed Forces have also been deployed at this polling station. Anuja.
Thank you, Saklain, for that update. Campaigning for the second and last phase of Bihar Assembly elections is underway in full swing. Star campaigners and senior leaders from both the NDA and the Mahagathbandhan and other political parties will address multiple election rallies in poll-bound constituencies. From the NDA side, senior BJP leader and Prime Minister Narendra Modi will address election rallies in Bhagalpur and Araria. Senior BJP leader and Union Home Minister Amit Shah will hold election rallies in West Champaran, East Champaran and Madhubani districts. Senior BJP leader and Defence Minister Rajnath Singh is scheduled to address public meetings in Sitamarhi and East Champaran districts. From Mahagathbandhan, Chief Ministerial Candidate of Coalition Tejasvi Prasad Yadav is scheduled to address 18 election rallies today in Madhubani, Supol, Kishanganj, Katihar and Purnia districts. This is Akashwani giving you the news. For quick news updates around the clock, follow us on our X handle at AIR News Alerts. And for details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.gov.in and download the News on AIR app. The Indian Navy will formally commission the Ikshak ship into the service at Naval Base in Kochi today. The commissioning ceremony will be held in the presence of Chief of the Naval Staff, Admiral Dinesh K. Tripathi. The Ministry of Defence informed that Ikshak will enhance the Indian Navy's hydrographic survey capabilities, along with the third vessel of the survey vessel class and the first to be based at the Southern Naval Command. Prime Minister Narendra Modi will inaugurate the year-long commemoration of 150 years of their national song Vande Mataram in New Delhi tomorrow. The Ministry of Culture will organize the inaugural ceremony of the commemoration of the 150 years of the national song. This event will mark the formal launch of a year-long nationwide commemoration from tomorrow till the 7th of November next year. Prime Minister Narendra Modi hosted the champions of the Women's World Cup at his residence at Lok Kalyan Marg yesterday. Mr. Modi congratulated the women cricket team on their victory and praised their remarkable comeback in the tournament after a string of 3 defeats. The Prime Minister also urged the players to take forward the message of Fit India, especially for girls across the country. Mr. Modi discussed the growing problem of obesity and highlighted the importance of being fit. He asked the players to go to their schools and motivate the young minds there. In Uttarakhand, high-altitude areas of Badrinath saw rain and snowfall yesterday, bringing down the temperatures in parts of Chamoli and Rudraprayag districts. Badrinath had also received light snowfall on Tuesday. There were light rains in Badrinath yesterday evening, while light snowfall resumed in the surrounding peaks. With the activation of a western disturbance, the weather has taken a turn in Himachal Pradesh. In the past 24 hours, higher mountain peaks have received snowfall, while some areas have recorded light rain. More from our correspondent.
During the past 24 hours, higher mountain regions of Himachal Pradesh have experienced light snowfall, while several other places received light rain. The famous tourist destination Chetkul in the tribal district of Kinnaur recorded about 2 inches of snowfall. This change in weather has brought relief from prolonged spell of dry cold. According to local residents, this snowfall has also brought much needed relief for apple growers and water sources. Sandeep Sharma, a scientist at the Meteorological Center Shimla, said that light snowfall is likely over the higher reaches of Chamba, Kangra, Kullu, Kinnaur and Lahaul Spiti district during the next 2 days. Ritesh Kapoor, Akashvani News, Shimla.
The U.S. Supreme Court justices have raised doubts over the legality of President Donald Trump's use of International Emergency Economic Powers Act of 1977 to unilaterally set tariffs on imports from more than 100 countries in an attempt to reduce the trade deficit and ignite more manufacturing in the United States. In men's cricket, the 4th T20 International of the 5-match series between India and Australia will be played at Carrara Oval in Queensland, Australia today. The match will begin at 1:45 p.m. Indian time. Currently, the series is tied 1-1 after India defeated Australia by 5 wickets in the 3rd T20 International at Hobart. And in shooting, Manu Bhaker and Swapnil Kusale will lead India's 40-member contingent at the ISSF World Championship Rifle and Pistol 2025 in Cairo, Egypt, starting today. 2-time Olympic medalist Manu Bhaker will spearhead the pistol team, joined by Isha Singh and Suruchi Singh. The championship will host 720 shooters from 72 countries at Egypt International Olympic City and will run until the 17th of this month. And now for a look at today's newspapers, it's over to Subhadra Ramachandran.
Thank you, Anuja. All the dailies have carried an inbox picture of Prime Minister Modi meeting the World Cup winning Indian women's team on their front page. The dailies have also taken note of the rising Indian origin politicians leaving a mark in US poll battles as Mamdani, Purewal and Hashmi make history. The Times of India writes, Salam New York, a socialist mayor for capitalism's capital. First Muslim South Asian to lead city in its 400-year history. IBBI set rules to restore assets to cheated home buyers and banks, states the Pioneer. The paper adds, Global Terror Financing Watchdog FATF praises ED's diligent handling of money laundering cases. The Statesman writes, government unveils guidelines for safe, inclusive and responsible adoption for artificial intelligence governance. And finally, a headline in the Economic Times says, local gets more vocal in markets as the gap between domestic and overseas investment in Indian stocks widened to the most in 25 years. And with that, it's back to you, Anuja.
Thank you, Subhadra. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Polling begins for first phase of assembly elections in Bihar. Around 3 crore 75 lakh voters to decide fate of 1,314 candidates across 121 constituencies. Indian Navy to commission survey vessel class ship Ikshak at Kochi Naval Base today. High altitude areas of Himachal Pradesh and Uttarakhand experience fresh snowfall. U.S. Supreme Court raises doubts over legality of President Donald Trump's sweeping global tariffs under an emergency authority. Prime Minister Narendra Modi meets world champion Indian women's cricket team, urges them to promote Fit India. And in men's cricket, 4th T20 International between India and Australia to be played in Queensland this afternoon. And with that, we end the morning news. Have a nice day.